This is a quick video to showcase a change that I've made to the VizPak Products for Octane material library. And what's changed is that the wood materials are now fully procedural, and this is much better for various reasons, which I'm going to explain shortly. So I'm going to hit F6 to open my preset browser. And if you have the kit installed, you should find a section there called VizPak Products Octane, with a subsection called wood. And in here you have 12 different wood types in varnished and unvarnished form. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a nice wood to this toy truck. So I'll choose the pine. Let's drag and drop that into the truck material. And if I dismiss the popover, you can see that pine has now been applied to the truck. And if I expand the group and just select the Octane material, we can then change the parameters. So if I zoom in, you should see there's a backdrop named size that's just behind this transform node. So if you select that, you can control the size and the direction of the grain. So one benefit of having this fully procedural material is that the wood grain goes all the way through the mesh. It is basically a fully 3D texture, which is going to behave like real wood. So if you want to change the direction of the grain with this node selected, you can simply just change the Y rotation value and you can see that's flipped it and the grain is now going through the sides of the truck. Let me undo that because I think I prefer it going this way. And the next thing I'm going to do is just look at the size. So if I just change the size to say 1.5%, you can see that's going to give me finer grain going through the wood. But I'm finding the grain on the wheels a little bit too coarse still. So I'm just going to grab the wheels material, just drag that to the top and expand it. Hit F6 to open preset browser once again and drag and drop this pine material into the wheels. I dismiss the preset browser. Let's select this new pine material, zoom in on the size backdrop, select the transform, and I'm going to set that to say 0.8 in all three axes. And you can see that's giving me much tighter grain on those wheels. And you can change other parameters as well. So I'm just going to zoom in on the render a little bit. You can see there's a little bit of what's called a retro reflection on this wood here. This is an unvarnished wood, so it's meant to look quite rough. If I select the truck wood once again, and let's just zoom out, take a look at the main material properties, you'll see that we have a node plugged into the coating parameter and another node plugged into the sheen. So the sheen is what controls the retro reflection. It's something you'd often see on fabrics, but it's also suitable to use on a rough material like this wood. And basically, the greater the value, the more retro reflection you're going to have. So you can push it even further. You'll see that this area here gets whiter. And if I select the main universal material node and just say increase the roughness to something much rougher, 0.8, these two parameters are going to work together to create a rougher look on the material. Now, if I open the preset browser once again, you'll see that we also have varnished variants of all the materials. But if you want to quickly create your own varnished variant, it's very simple. What I would do is I would select the sheen actually and just set it back down to 0 because the varnish would override the retro reflection, and then select the node that's plugged into the coating parameter and just increase its color. The closer you get to white, the thicker the coating is going to be. So let's just try something like this. And you can see that we now have the appearance of varnish on the wood. Let me just open the main Octane render viewport so you can see that closely. So that, in a nutshell, is the update to the wood materials in the VizPak Products for Octane library. And as you can see, they are now much, much better. If I zoom in and take a closer look, you can see that we're getting some really nice and realistic results from these shaders. And having these textures driven procedurally rather than with image maps just makes them much more flexible and controllable, and also much more realistic because you'll have the 3D wood grain going all the way through the mesh. So thank you very much for watching, and I hope you find this update useful.